Alexander. This is my presentation. It's about the adaptation of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. The adaptation I picked was from the 2015 picture Frankenstein. The summary of this movie is Frankenstein found a smart hunchback in the circus and gave him a identity, and he became his partner, and they created Frank the monster. But first they created Gordon, and here's the monster now. In the end, they were trying to, in Victor's mind, they were trying to create life and play God, and in the end they failed and created the monster. And for my first criteria, I think that the themes should align. So when you make an adaptation of a novel or a classic, you should have the same meaning of the same movie. So that's why I think the themes should align. Therefore, let me explain the themes of the novel. There's life versus death, where Victor wanted to create something that everyone would know about, and so he chose to create death, life after death. And the things of the adaptation is playing God, and then towards the end, Victor explained to Igor where he took a life, so therefore he has to create a life. And then there's deism, where there's a philosophy where God left us, created us, and then left us for us to be who we are. And so he doesn't have any part in our lives. Here's creating life. My first examples for the first criteria. Here's my second one, where he actually creates life. And in this, he created life, and the monster he created had 2 hearts, 4 lungs, and he found out it was a mistake minutes after he created the monster. For my next slide, over here he's explaining to Igor's love, Lorelai, or how he wants to create life after death, and he explained how he wanted for everyone to live after they die, because life is beautiful, but it's finite. My second criteria is that it's faithfulness, which is basically the following points I want to happen where Frankenstein should die. Example, this ending should be similar, even though it's an adaptation. For example, Frankenstein died before the monster died in the novel. I don't want the same to happen in the adaptation, which he ran away from Igor after they defeated the monster. My second example is there are more than 2 monsters. If there's 2 monsters in an adaptation, it's kind of like if you had Godzilla and then you have 2 Godzillas, it doesn't really make sense. My third example is no one significant to Victor dies. His brother did die at the beginning of the movie, but throughout the movie, no one really died, which triggered him, therefore, to kill the monster. But in the movie, it made him want to pursue the experiment to create life. And my last one is who's Igor? Like, he's a made-up character, even though it added some taste in the movie. It was not in the original novel, and therefore I don't think he should have been created. My third criteria is where I think that the special effects should be the best, because you're trying to remake a classic. And here are the following that I found was very good throughout the movie. My first one is lightning, where the lightning effects in the movie was incredible. There was lightning and electricity throughout the whole movie because he experimented with it on Gordon and on other organs, and of course the monster. In the X-ray vision at the beginning of the movie, Igor and Frankenstein can see the anatomy of human beings and animals without opening them up, and it showed that I really was impressed by that. My next one was Gordon's animation. It made it come to life. Like, I really thought that I didn't think he was alive, but it was pretty realistic, and I liked it because it's a part of a horror movie, so it should be scary. It was kind of scarier than the real monster because it was human, like it looked like real human. My fourth example of the criteria is I Stabbed Igor, is where they pit him and they pit the real Igor, the one that they stole the identity from in Ice Chamber. And my conclusion is that this is a bad adaptation. They only fulfill 2 of my criteria. It satisfies my last one, but that's just what made it a decent movie, but it was a bad adaptation to the whole movie.